know if anybody will be on this time of day or not. I'm going to treat my lives pretty much like they're, I guess I got to keep it turned that way, like they're regular videos. So if anybody doesn't watch them now, then they can always watch them later. But there's all kinds of railmen here. There's one right there, two right there, and then three over here beside me. I talked to that one over here beside me for a while. He's been here for about a year, he said. But right now I'm in, I think it's Plainfield, Indiana. I'm using my Android phone, so you should be able to hear me with that. The iPhone, I had to use my my mic for anybody to hear me. Willie on wheels. I got here early for this one. Yep. Looks like you're the only one right now. Good to hear from you, Willie. They've had me doing all kinds of different little loads today. I mean, it's, hello, Dan, how you doing? I've done, like, before I came here, I did 2 little loads, and I wasn't too happy with them. But something he explained to me the other day was the less the miles, the more you get paid per mile, is what he was telling me. I didn't know that. So I was just thinking, like, the less miles, the worse it is, you know. But he said, like, if it's less miles, you get paid more per mile than you do if it's more miles. So I don't think I've got that many miles today. Yeah, I've only got 316 right now. I've got 4 hours and 15 minutes left on my clock. Hey, Mike of the North. I seen Mike's got a new video on his channel right now. I seen a little bit of it this morning, and later I'm gonna watch it, Lord willing. Looked like a good one, Mike. I like that. Like what you said about tankers makes me interested in maybe doing tankers. Yeah, that's true. Yep, and stay positive is another piece of good advice, because it's, Mike probably knows. I mean, I'm sure it's probably similar in Canada and stuff. And Mike's drove over here too, if I'm not mistaken. But I get stressed out at some of these places. Like here at this place, when I got here, I pulled in where it told me way over there on the other side of this gate, and it was thank goodness a rail guy was leaving, and he said, a railman was leaving, and he said, "Are you delivering to Nestle?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." Why? Because I wasn't even sure. I hadn't really paid attention. And he said, "Well, if you are, you got to go all the way around." And I said, "Why? Did you already come in?" And he said, "Yeah." And I went around and went through the wrong one again, wrong gate again, and a woman let me turn around in there. And thank goodness, because it would have been a little bit harder for a noob like me to back out onto the road. And then I finally found my way here. And right now there's me and 1, 2, 3 other railmen here, which are rail drivers. I've been calling them railmen. So there was one guy here before me, the one that told me that. Then I got here, and now since I've been here, 2 other guys from rail are here. And there's lots of people from rail in this area. I'm in Indiana. They've been keeping me in Indiana and Wisconsin. Like, I go back and forth between Indiana and Wisconsin mainly, which I go other places too, but I guess where I'm regional, you know. The guy that I talked to over here to my left, he said he's been here for about a year, and I asked him if he liked it, and he said yeah. And I said, "Well, how many miles do you got left to go before you finish your contract?" He's national though. Hey, how's it going, Scrap Rodriguez? He's got a good channel too. He does scrapping. It's good to hear from you, Scrap Rodriguez. You've been around for quite a while. You and Mike of the North have. I like Mike and Scrap Rodriguez a lot. Willie's been commenting a lot. Dan, I appreciate that from each and every one of you. I'm just sitting here bored, so I figured I'd do a live. And another good thing about these lives, they don't take space on your phone. Like, it uploads them straight to YouTube, so it's really good. I've got a lot of footage right now to upload. Like, I've got another video to edit right now. I'm filling that GoPro up. The good thing about that, though, that GoPro, I've got a 64 gigabyte SD card, I think you call it, but you can get way better. My leg's doing way better. I thank God for how good it's doing. I took my stitches out. I think it was last night or the night before. I did it myself. May have been last night. It was starting to hurt, and I think the reason why is because the stitches needed to come out. The guy that put them in told me, he said, in 10 days you need to come back and get your stitches taken out. Well, that fell right on the weekday, you know, where I'm working, and I knew I wouldn't be able to go back. So I went ahead and took them out myself. I got some fingernail clippers and clipped them and just pulled them out. I'd never done that, but it was pretty easy. And now my leg's feeling a lot better. It was getting a little painful, and I think because the stitches were getting tight. Hey, how's it going, Michael P? Good to see everybody. These lives are interesting. Especially, you know, these people that are interested in getting into trucking and everything. People like Mike of the North is somebody to watch. I'm a noob, and I know that's probably interesting to people who are just getting into it, because you're going to kind of see what you're getting into. Mike is somebody that's got a lot of experience. If I'm not mistaken, almost 30 years of experience. And he was talking about tankers, and that's what he does, I think, now, drives tankers. And he was saying you don't have that wait time. If I'm not mistaken, Mike, is what you said. You don't have that wait time that you have with like drive-in and stuff. Because sometimes that's what gets you with drive-in is once you get there, you're waiting for a while. Right now at this place, they had me, I've never had them do that. Everywhere has their own different requirements and stuff for you. How you doing out there? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. Staying busy. These days go by so fast. Like tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's the day I go home, and I started on Sunday, and it's flew by. Is it like that for you, Mike? If you're on here, I don't know if Mike's on here, but does it fly by for you, the days? They do for me. You stay busy out here. Like the driving, for one. Then when you get there, you stay pretty busy unless you're sitting for a while. Like I've been here for probably about an hour now or so. And from here, I'm going, I'm not going too far, I don't think. But then I'm picking up, and then I've got like 100 some more miles to go. So I'm going to try to, I've been trying to push my hours. That's what I normally do. Like however many hours I got, there's so many things you can't dictate in this, so many things that you can't do anything about. Like right now, how long I sit here, I can't do nothing about that, That's up to them. But all I can do is drive when I drive. And then when I get there, do what I know to do. Like it was easy to get back in here and everything. And I'm going to keep doing those videos too. Like I've got one right now of going to another factory, and I went inside, and that guy told me he was fine with me wearing my camera in there. And so it seems like most people are okay with it. Honestly, like you wearing the camera, nobody said anything to me about it in a negative way. Nobody said like, don't wear that. You can't have that in here yet. It probably will happen eventually. And if it does, I'll just turn it off, Not a big deal. But yeah, I've been pretty busy. I'm liking it still. I'm wanting to see this check. This next one I think will be my best one. This week, how many miles will I get? I think it'll be a record for me. But I don't know the exact number. Let's see so far. I don't know. It may not be as good as I was hoping. Yeah, it won't be as good as I was hoping. I would say probably around 2,000 miles or something like that. I'm wanting 2,500 though. I'm wanting 2,500. I've been complaining a little bit to not complaining, but saying stuff to my fleet manager about it. I said, you told me you was going to put me on a schedule that would give me more miles. I said, I'm not seeing that yet. He's a good guy. He's friendly. It sure does fly by. I'm doing my last 650 mile rounder right now. That's a lot, Mike. 650. What do you mean by that? Your last you mean you're going 650 straight? The most I've ever done straight yet was like 611. Well, I'm not straight even, but in one day I got 611 miles. I was very happy with that. I'd really like to get 500 a day if I could, honestly. Mike, I'm thinking about doing the tankers thing like you. I wonder how I got to go about doing that. Like I plan to finish my first year with her. I plan to, and that's the plan. I've put my foot down with certain things. Like when they told me about that regional scale to begin with, because I this whole time I thought regional was Monday through Friday, and then you got off on. I thought that even with my trainer explaining it, I thought that, and like that weekend I had something planned with my wife and kids. And then that Friday I was in Ohio, and I asked him, I said, because I just delivered a load there. And I said, do y'all got a load going towards Kentucky? Because I'm going home today. And she said, no, it's showing you're going home tomorrow, which was Saturday. I said, what do you mean? And she said, you're regional. I said, yeah, regional is Monday through Friday, isn't it? And she said, no, and kind of explained it. And I got aggravated, I'll be honest with you, because this whole time I didn't know that. And I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm going home today one way or the other. And I was thinking to myself, a real employee or not, which I didn't say that part, but I did say, ma'am, I'm going home one way or another today. And I was going to take the truck, And they ended up sending me home empty, with an empty trailer. She said, pick a trailer up empty and then go on, because I was at a rail drop yard. She said, pick a trailer up there and then head on to Kentucky. And then they had me leave that Monday, because she said, well, I'm sorry we didn't explain it better and everything. And I talked to my fleet manager. And he said, well, there's going to be some days you got to work Saturday. And I told him, I said, well, this probably ain't going to work for me then, because I never knew that, I said, I don't want to have to wonder whether I'm going to be off this day or not. And I said, is there any way whatsoever? Because he explained to me that regional is 48 hours from the time you get home that you got. So say I get home at 5 o'clock p.m. on Friday. then you get 48 hours from that time, so it'd be 5 o'clock p.m. Sunday. But it's actually not even that many, because when I talked to him, he said, well, if you leave at 5, he said it's going to be harder to get you a load. I said, well, what time should I leave then? He said, probably around 1. And I said, well, just make it lunchtime, if it'll help me get a load. And I've come to terms with that now, not what regional is. But when they first hit me out of nowhere with it, and I was out there, I got pretty mad because nobody ever told me. And that's why I told him, I said, I wish y'all would specify. Even my trainer was saying he was worked Monday through Friday when he first started his first 6 months, and was off, during the weekend. But he was a dedicated fleet too, so I'm not that. My fleet manager did look in my area to see if there was a dedicated fleet for me, and he said there was none in my area. So, but yeah, I'm regional. And he asked me, he said, have you thought about doing national? And I said, no. I said, yeah, you're just too. He said, you would get an extra day home, one more day home, 3 days. And I said, no. He said, it's 11 days out. And I said, that's just too long to be gone for my kids, honestly, me personally. With my kids being as little as they are, I said, no, that's just too long to be gone for my kids. I'm not willing to do that. But now I know what regional is. And so, like tomorrow, they'll be sending me home. This is the longest week I've had, because this is the first one I've started on a Sunday, Me and my fleet manager talked about it, and he did agree with me, though. He said, because I asked him, I said, is there any way you can get me home Friday? And I said, and then I'll go out, Sunday, like you said. And he said, let me see what I can do. And he got back to me. He said, all right, I actually think that'll work better. He said, so I'll get you home Friday. He said, but I can't guarantee you what time. And I said, that's fine, if it's nighttime. I just want to know what day I'm going to be home. Me personally, I do. And he said that was fine. And then Sunday I'll leave at probably different times, Nothing's set really, Friday it'll be different times, and then Sunday it'll probably be different times too. Probably earlier Sunday, because the way he talked, the earlier you leave, the better. So I'll probably leave earlier Sunday. But yeah, I've been working long days, and that Sunday was the first time I drove at night. Like I've drove, me and my trainer always usually stop around 5, because he always wanted to get to the truck stops before they filled up. I stayed at a truck stop last night at TA's. Those are nice truck stops. They're really nice on the inside, and they actually have quite a selection of groceries that aren't that bad. I bought some bratwurst from there last night, and normally at a truck stop you'd think for a pack of them it'd be $8, but it was only $4 and something. And they were really good. But so far, so good. So I'm just going to try to run my miles out today, run my time out today, and see how many miles I can get. A dedicated fleet for paper that hires out of the Ohio, Kentucky area. According to him, they didn't. I'm not sure. Maybe they do, and maybe they just don't need anybody on it right now. But he said, I'll look in for it, or look into it for you. And he got back to me and he said, yeah, there's nothing in your area. Because when he mentioned it, he said, have you thought about doing dedicated? And I said, well, is that available in my area? Yeah, I'd definitely be interested. And then he said, yeah, there's nothing. So they may just not need anybody right now. I'm not sure. I'm going to do my best to stick it out with rail. That's my plan. I don't want to have a bill. See you later, Scrap Rodriguez. Keep working hard. I've seen you on there before. You seem to stay pretty busy too. It's good hearing from you too. Good hearing from you. Thanks for dropping in and commenting and everything. I appreciate that. And my leg's doing a whole lot better, so I'm very thankful for that too. Willie, when are you getting started? You said I've talked to quite a few different people. I remember you said you were getting started soon, if I'm not mistaken. Your dad's a trucker, I think you said, Willie. I'm interested in hearing what other people say, about their experience with rail when they get into it. I've been getting a lot of comments lately about the trucking industry from people. Yeah, it sounds like a good fleet to get on. Yeah, sounds like a good thing to get into. I know that after a year, things will open up for me a whole lot. The experience, because I'll be honest with you. Like, I was so aggravated when I got home, not last week, but the week before, I think it was. Because things were just turning out so different than I expected, that I even told my fleet manager to come get the truck and trailer and everything. You can keep a consistent time. Like, you can actually kind of make it work for your time, really, because you can shut down whenever you want to. And honestly, me, myself, it's good to hear from you too, Jacob. Me, myself, I like to get started earlier and work until about 5 or 6. I like to get up about 3. 3:30, and then get started about 4. Get on the road about 4 because there's not as much traffic at that time. And then in the evening, if you go to your truck stop and try to get parking, it's not as hard. Let's see what. But yeah, Jacob, my trainer was telling me you could pretty much kind of force them into your schedule because you can shut down whenever you want. And then once your 10 hours is over, you can start whenever you want. And they kind of just got to go by your schedule at that point, you know. To the best of my understanding. Like honestly, before I started doing Sunday, I was on a pretty consistent schedule. Like I was getting up around 3:30 and then working till about 5 or 6 or something like that. But now it's been kind of mixed up since I started on Sunday, because Sunday I didn't start until like lunchtime. And then I drove from Kentucky. I can't remember where I picked up. I think Indianapolis, Indiana. And I drove on to try to get more miles. I had time left on my clock. I drove on into the night till like 10 o'clock at night. And that made my 10 o'clock reset, my 10-hour reset, take longer for me to start in the morning, you know, because from 10 hours from 10, 12 hours would be 10. So 8 in the morning. I couldn't even start until 8 in the morning, which is like 4 hours later than I normally start. Let's see what these comments say. Chucky, I tested out a phase 2 last Wednesday. I'm at home waiting on a truck now. Oh, well, you're about where I am then. This is my 4th week with my own truck. Yes, sir. My dad is for over 30 years. I'm going up to Gary in a few weeks to get started. That's awesome, Willie. That's awesome. If keep in touch with me on here if you don't mind. Let me know how it goes. Let me know who your instructor is and everything. You may get the same guy I got at rail, that is. That's awesome, Chucky. Yeah, you're about where I am then. Waiting on a truck. How long you been waiting on a truck? I waited a week, and then I went back the following Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And then I stayed in the hotel Monday and Tuesday, and they had me do a refresher. You're going to have to do that too if you've had to wait a week. They'll make you do your skills test again. They made me do it again. So whatever terminal they send you to, Chucky, they're going to make you do a refresher, which is your skills test. They'll make you do it again. And then after that, then they'll probably get you a truck. My truck's sold right now. My truck's sold. This one right here is sold. I was supposed to yesterday actually go and switch it out in Wisconsin while I was there. And he said, we're going to have to wait until your home time before we actually do that this time. And so this truck's sold already. I've only been in it 4 weeks, not even altogether. And they already sold it. Well, hopefully they put me in something better at least. I'm hoping, or something similar at least. At least nothing worse. I think this is a 2022. Yeah, 30 years is a long time, a lot of experience. Yeah, Jacob, I think you'll like it. I'm looking forward to seeing how you like it, Jacob, when you start. I seen the comment earlier where you said that a certain part of my video kind of made you decide you wanted to go through with it. I'm glad to hear that because I do think you'll like it. And I'm confident you'll be satisfied with the pay after how we talked and stuff, you know. Is the pay good? I guess it depends on what you consider good. Like, my last check, I said it was $800 and it was a bad week, but it was actually like more like $900. There's another railman. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 railmen here at this place now. So, my last one was actually like $900. Like $900. Yeah, there's another guy behind him now. 2 guys there. 1 over there. I'm here, and then there's 1 right here beside me. All rail trucks. But it was like $900, and that was a bad week. Now, my trainer said his first year, he averaged $1,300 a week his first year. But here's the thing. Like I said, some people don't want to do the owner-operator thing. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know. I mean, I like the thought of being an owner, because you can do it after 6 months with rail. You can be an owner-operator to where you're making payments on a truck, and your pay instantly goes up. And you can also become a trainer, and your pay instantly goes up. Like, my trainer is clearing $2,500 a week right now after taxes. And he's only been here 3 years, so that's pretty good, I think. Did you find your lanyard for... No, I haven't found a lanyard, but I've got like 6 keys on that key ring and 1 in my wallet. I'm going to buy me a lanyard because that one I got from Rail would break quite a bit anyways. It would kind of pull itself apart and just fall off of me. I don't know if I broke it or what. You're welcome, Jacob. I look forward to it. There were 9 new ones sitting when you tested out? Well, good. I doubt they'll give me a new one. I hope it'd be nice, but I doubt they will. And I'm not expecting that. I just hope they don't put me in a. If they put me in an older one, I'll take it. But I like these Freightliners a lot. How they're set up, honestly, on the inside. I really do. Yes, and more. Yeah, Marshfield's where they were sending me to switch trucks. And he just told me out of nowhere I had just got to Gary, Indiana, the terminal. I've been going to that terminal a lot in Gary, Indiana, more than anywhere else. I'm at that terminal probably once a week at least right now. And every time I go there, I know this ain't the lowest carb thing. I'm trying to diet, but they've got one of the best grilled chicken wraps I've ever ate in my life. Like, it's just grilled chicken. The wrap I know isn't really low carb, but it's just grilled chicken and vegetables. And man, it's like the best chicken wrap I've ever had in my life. So I've been getting it when I go there. I've lost like, you probably can't tell, but I've lost like 12 pounds so far. That's need to keep it off and keep losing. But yeah, I do want to get me a lanyard or something. And I also want to get another mount because I've got my phone that I'm using right here on a mount. I want one more for that phone. I don't know if I'm going to get a Garmin or just use my phone because the phone works just fine. But earlier he sent me to a place before they sent me the workflow because there was another guy that was relaying a load to a yard, which means he was taking it there for somebody else to take, and that somebody else was me. And my fleet manager said, you can go ahead and head that way, and y'all probably get there around the same time. So I did, and I actually got there before he did. But it didn't send me the directions because it wasn't going to give me the workflow until he got there. And so I had to use my phone, Google Maps. Well, it took me down roads I don't think trucks are supposed to be down. There was one lane where it was like a 90-degree turn to the right. And there was a pole light like right there on the corner. I get up there to it, and I know if I get in that right turn lane, I'm not going to make it. And the only other lane is a straight lane. And I went ahead and I took the whole lane pretty much and still hit the curb. I took that whole lane and I still hit the curb. I went right over the curb. I went over a couple curbs. I try to avoid them, but sometimes these take you down places that there's not really a lot you can do. Taking all the space you can even. Like I took about all the space I could, if I'm not mistaken. I still hit the curb. Push-ups are good, yeah. I don't know if I even got enough room to in here, honestly. I haven't done any push-ups in here because I don't know if I got enough room to, unless I do them on my bed. I think the most I can do now is like 40. I'm about 268 pounds now. I used to be able to do 100 consecutive. When I was about 200 pounds, believe that or not, I could do 100 consecutive push-ups. I ain't saying that in a bragging way. I'm saying I was in a lot better shape then. I worked out pretty regular back then. Thank you very much, Jasper. Jasper's Positive K9 Academy. My little nephew's name is Jasper. I like that name a lot. My dad was a trainer at Werner back in like 2004, 2005. He didn't do it long. He didn't like. I don't know that I'd be able to train, honestly. It's not just the, sharing space with somebody all the time. It's the fact that they're a new driver, and it's no offense against anybody, but some people are far more dangerous than others, I mean, they told me a story. It happened here at Rail, I think. It was a female driver. My trainer told me about this, and she was backing up, to connect to the trailer. Well, she wasn't supposed to back up yet. The trainer was back there. I don't know why this happened like this, but her trainer was back there. She backed up and smashed him in between the trailer and the tractor and killed him. And imagine dying like that too. That'd be horrible. You know how much pressure that would be on you? Just crushed. It'd be horrible. And imagine for her how she felt getting out of the truck and seeing what she did. She crushed him. He was back there and she backed up and crushed him. So that would make me nervous, And some of those trainers that train and sleep while their trainees are up here, new trainees, I don't see how they do that. There's no way I could do that. I'd be nervous sitting in that seat watching them. There's no way I could sleep up there while they're driving. I couldn't do it. So yeah, I understand where your dad's coming from there, Willie. I I just think I'd worry. Do you deliver to the same states every week? Will you ever have to go to the West Coast? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, if I ever go to the West Coast. Now I'm allowed to ask to be out longer if I want to. Like if I want, I'm only gone for like 6 days at a time, 5.5. Well, I can ask to be out for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks if I want, and they'll let me do that. And then they might would send me out farther, maybe, but I don't know where I'm regional. I think I'm Midwest regional. I'm mainly in Indiana. I've been to Wisconsin, Missouri, Michigan, Kentucky pretty much only when I go home, and Ohio only when I go home pretty much. Well, actually, I've been through Ohio other than that time. So yeah, I'm mainly in probably like 6 states or something. That's since I've been by myself. When I was with my trainer, we went to Louisiana, Kansas, Oklahoma. He was saying he hoped we went to Florida, and I really want to go there because I've been wanting to see it my whole life. I've never seen Florida. I'd love to go to Florida. Hey there, Adrian. How you doing? Good to hear from you. I'm at 160 Academy right now, 22 years old. A fiance looking to start a family and make money. I just greened out on straight backing today. What do you mean greened out, Jasper? I'm not sure what that means. That mean you did good on it? 22 years old, fiance looking to start a family. That's a good thing to want a family. I've got 4 kids at home and my wife, and I definitely think trucking's a good career. I think if you got a family, especially when they're little, you should try to spend as much home time as you can with them. Some other guy said that, and the way he said it, like I said before, it hit the nail right on the head, and he said, your children, when they're little like that, they don't understand why you're gone. All they know is that you're gone. And it's the truth, you know. So that's why I'm regional now, and I'm probably going local when I can. My trainer had Steely 360 magnetic mount, $30 at truck stops. Yeah, my trainer had a magnetic mount as well. This mount that I've got, company sent me from YouTube, and I love it. It's aluminum. The mount's aluminum. I really like it. They asked me if I'd do a video on it, and they sent it to me for free. Even team drama, a trainer got shot because the trainee alleged he stole his phone. What? Really? The trainee shot him? The trainee shot the trainer? Why would he even have, how would he have a gun with him? Is what I would wonder about. How would he even have a gun with him to do that? 6 days at a time wouldn't be enough time for you to go to the West Coast. Yeah, so I guess I probably won't then. Passed your hard evaluation. Trying to think of what that would be. Are you talking about like your skills test or what? Are you, let me see. Sorry, there's so many comments right here. I'm trying to keep up with Jasper, what he was talking about. Oh, let's see. Thinking about hitting Tantara. What is Tantara? Not sure what that is. I'm not sure what Tantara is. They still haven't came out. So you know, every place is different. Some places, the place I stopped before here, I got there, backed up to a dock, and probably within, I'd say, 10 minutes, I seen the red light come on, and they were already unloading me. And I was there for probably 30 minutes or 20, and then I left. But this one, I've been here for probably an hour and 20 minutes now. I talked about it. Some of y'all may not have heard it, but I set 16 hours at one place. Not on the dock. I said on the dock. I wasn't on the dock that long. But I was on the dock, I think, for 7 or 8 hours straight before they touched me on the dock. If I'm not mistaken, I got there around 4, and they didn't even start touching it until about 10 that night. And then I think at 11 or 12 they were done. They woke me up when they were done. I fell asleep. I was tired. And they woke me up and told me they were done. And I was completely out of time. And that's a violation if you drive. So I drove under 5 miles an hour to get off of that dock. So another guy who had been waiting probably 3 or 4 hours on me could back in there. And then I parked there at that place and stayed for the night. Closed my curtain and stayed for the night. I've stayed all kinds of different places already. Because I push my miles. I'll pull in somewhere and park. If they get on to me, they do. But I'm pushing my miles if I can. He had a gun with multiple magazines and a drum full of ammo. You're talking about the trainee had a gun? And while he was with his trainer, he had a gun? Or are you saying he came back after training with him with a gun, because I don't see how he would get through and get in the truck with a gun. Oh, I heard about that in one of them in Nashville, a guy getting shot in his truck. Hello, Marcus. I appreciate that. Week after I test it out. That's awesome, Marcus. Let me know how it goes and how you're liking it and everything. Here comes this guy right now. He's probably going to cut the seal, and I'll see what he says here. He might be going to him. He's going to him. I'm doing a live right here in the parking lot. Which, I mean, it's a good time to do it. I'm just sitting here. He had it with him. He had all that in the truck with the train. See, if I was a trainer and somebody tried to bring that in my truck, I'd say, no, you're not bringing that in my truck. Because you never know about people nowadays, you know. Even in the past, but nowadays there's so many crazy people. Honestly, there is. I think we all see that. So I don't know how he could get by with that, because from what they tell me, truckers ain't even allowed to have a gun. I got Excalibur back there if I need it. I wouldn't ever want to use it, but if I had to, I don't know. Who knows? I've got it. Who's your trainer, Marcus? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I guess that's true. If they put it in their bag, there's no way to know. Well, that's crazy though. You would think if that happened though, and they got by with that they would put strict measures into place to start checking bags and stuff, because that cost that man his life. And honestly, it sounds like something needs to be done about it. I brought a big bag with me when I was with my trainer, and I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have brought just a little duffel bag that you hold. I brought like one of them big bags with the wheels on it, and I had it up there on my bunk, and I laid my pillow on it and laid on it. 163. He's probably an owner-operator right there. But what do y'all think about the owner-operator program? Do you think that'd be a good thing? The only thing that makes me iffy about the owner-operator program, because from what I understand, you're your own boss at that point. Like if you want to tell them no, you can. Earlier, I asked my trainer, because he sent me a bad load. It was like 17 miles, and then this one was like 30-some miles. Or something like that. And I asked him, I said, am I allowed to refuse that load, or do I have to take that? And he said, you can't refuse. But now if you're owner operator, you can refuse. I didn't know if you could as a company driver or not. Head out as early as Sunday waiting. Hey, it's pretty cool that lots of people who are joining rail are here talking like this. This is pretty neat. Maybe we can all keep up with each other. You all should start a YouTube channel if you don't got one. Start one. Jacob, I don't know if Jacob's still on here, but if you start driving for rail, you should start a YouTube channel. From Phase 1, Michelle. I don't know where that guy went. I was at a Home Depot, I think it was yesterday. Maybe the day before. No, I think it was yesterday morning, and it was huge, the parking lot there. And they sent me like 3 different buildings. And the last building I went to said, well, you were supposed to deliver it at the place you just stopped at before. And I said, well, they sent me here. From Phase 1, Michelle. Hey there. How's it going, Maximum? Good to hear from everybody. Yeah, keep up with each other in the comments, you know. Encourage one another. Help one another as far as getting through the rail program. Sounds like some of y'all are done through it and everything. One guy waiting on a truck, he said. It is a good way to pass the time. I'll tell you one thing with YouTube that helps me out here. I don't feel so lonely. Like I talk to my GoPro and I feel like there's somebody there. Here's this guy coming. Let's see what he might be getting it.
Hey, open door. Parking, please.
You need me to open the door?
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay, he told me not to break the seal. Go ahead and do it. Hold on. Anybody still there? 17. I've got to back up on the dock right now. Let me do this real quick. See a noob in action. I'm pretty much lined up. I got my tandems back. They always want you to put your tandems back. I guess that supports the forklift. They watch you back up. I've never been. This company is really strict. Like this is the first company I've ever been to yet that says you're not allowed to remove the seal. They have to. I've never had another one do that yet. This one's pretty strict. Some of them are. Some will require a safety vest and hard hats. I don't want to hit the dock too hard. It makes me nervous because he's sitting there watching me, and then y'all are watching me. I'm almost there. All right. Got it. Make sure it didn't kick me out on my computer. Anybody there? Oh, 18. 18 even when I can get out of the truck. That's pretty neat. What do y'all say? Y'all talking to each other or what? I went, yeah, that's cool. Y'all are talking even when I'm not on there. That's awesome. That's neat. Hours of service. Oh, yeah, see, it put me on duty. You don't want that because that takes from your drive time. So what I'll do, it kicked me out when I start driving, I guess. And I'm gonna put unload. On duty, unload. Like I had a hard time, and I still do a little bit. As you do stuff, you're supposed to put it on your computer. If you're on duty, it'll take from your drive time in certain things. Like when this will be on duty. I said that wrong. I'm a noob. But if you're on duty in certain things, it'll take from your drive time. Like right now, I'm gonna hit unload because I've got to load. This was a heavy trailer too. Another guy relayed this trailer. Close that. Another guy relayed this trailer, and it was a heavy load. This was. See what y'all are talking about. Good luck in your future, Bluegrass. I used to drive for 3 different carriers. Gave up CDL and 7 years later and heading back in the game for another run. Well, that's awesome, Terry. Let us know how it goes on here. Looks like there's quite a few people on here that's interested in trucking. That's awesome. I've never done many of these lives. I did one when I was doing firewood, and this is like the 3rd one but the last live, and this one's doing the same thing. The last live got more attention than any live I've ever done, and comments and everything. That's awesome. Y'all are talking. I'm only 40 minutes away from Marshfield, so you're pretty close to maximum to Marshfield. I would say I was probably going back there again this week, but they won't send me back now because tomorrow's my day to go home, and they'll send me towards home. How many states have I been to so far? By myself, not that many, but counting with my trainer too. Me and my trainer went to Louisiana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Wisconsin, Indiana. So there's 7 right there. Alabama. I've been to Missouri. I'd say to probably 10 or 11 different states now. And now before I started trucking with Rail, let's see, he's talking to him. Looks like. Before I started trucking with Rail, I had been to like 2 states, 3 states. Well, not counting my home state, Kentucky. I'd been to like Ohio and Tennessee and Virginia. And even those it was just kind of passing through. Like I drove all the way to Ohio one time for a chainsaw, me and Carter. I drive to other states for a good deal if it's worth it. Are you van national? No, I'm regional. So I think they call it Midwest regional. I am van. I'm dry van, but I'm regional. Let's see. Your 14-hour keeps running. I think your 14-hour keeps running all day. There's nothing you can do to stop your 14-hour, I don't think, is there? If I'm not mistaken. Once you start your 14-hour, it doesn't stop. Is that right? I may be wrong. If I'm not mistaken, your 14-hour runs no matter what. If I'm not mistaken. Like right now, I'm on duty, unload. Yeah, the 14 hours running right now. And the 11. I think once you start your clock for the day, your 14 doesn't stop. But I may be wrong. I appreciate that a lot, Terry, by the way. 15 hours. I was there from Where was you at for 15 hours, Marcus? They're loading it now. See me shaking? Yeah, I've got a red light. So they're loading it. It's starting to get dark, but I've still got 3 hours 36 minutes of on duty time, and I'm going to use all that I can. That's what I do. I'm pushing these hours. I'm regional. I'm not national. So what days I'm at work, I want to work. You know, I want to work. I work as long as they'll let me. This isn't physically hard work, you know. Are you tired? Yeah, you're very tired at the end of the day because it's such long days, but it's not physically hard work. Oh my goodness, 15-hour drive to Marshville from Philadelphia. I think, I'm not sure about Marshville, but Wisconsin, I think Marshville was where I was. That's where I was originally going, was Marshville, but they ended up letting me go to Gary, Indiana instead, which was about half the distance. Marshville was about 9 hours for me. I had to drive a rental car after I finished with my trainer. They got me a rental car, and I drove that rental car from Wisconsin all the way to Kentucky, and it took like the longest car drive I ever had, 9 hours and 40 minutes, and I drove it pretty much nonstop. I actually got sleepy at one point and drove over at like one of those little rest areas and slept for like 30 minutes. Wow, that is a long drive. Yeah. I don't like them that long myself, but in this truck, it's better in my opinion. Driving long hours in a commercial truck to me is a lot better than a regular vehicle. They're more comfortable. He's probably wondering who I'm talking to. I don't have a TV in my truck, but there is a mount back there on the wall for one. There's a mount. I don't really watch television. I do watch YouTube, but I don't really watch television. Like as far as cable and satellite, no, I don't really watch any of that. I watch the news, certain news stations. I lost video. What do you mean, Chucky? Did it go off on your end? Is the video working good on your end? Everything working? Can y'all hear me good on this phone? This is a newer phone. I like my iPhone better than this Android. I'll be honest with you. I'm just so used to iPhones. I like iPhones. You can, Maximum? Is that a yes that you can hear me? Good. Video is good. Awesome. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Glad to hear it. Yeah, everybody, if you're going with rail, you're already with rail, let us know how it goes. Like Willie, I see and hear you. Okay, good, Willie. Mike of the North. There's Mike. Stream is excellent. Awesome. Good. Yeah, on this iPhone here, I love iPhone myself. You see, I'm hard on my stuff. That's like a year old, that iPhone. I dropped the socket on that when I was working on a vehicle. I was making a video and dropped the socket and it did that. And then I dropped this in a cup of coffee and ruined my speakers. So I'm rough on stuff. Looking forward to cruising the country in a semi. Yeah, I do enjoy it. It's very enjoyable. Mike's got a lot of experience in it. Mike of the North, and he seems to like it. Jacob said yes. Good wireless microphone. We can hear you good. Yeah, I actually had a couple good wireless microphones, and I can't remember whatever happened to them. When I did that firewood, I tore stuff. You should have seen how many tripods I destroyed when I was doing firewood. It seemed like they were just, the pieces of wood is like they were heat seekers, and those tripods were hot, and it would just go right towards them and hit them. Knock my phone off of it. I'm going to Marshfield for rail soon. I passed my DOT physical yesterday. Just have to go to the DMV now and get the permit. That's awesome, Maximum. That's a big step right there. It doesn't even feel like it's been over 2 months, 3 months ago when I did that. It doesn't even feel like it's been that long ago. It went so fast. So fast. And I got delayed for like a month, three weeks at least, if I'm not mistaken. You know, like around 3 weeks after I got my CDL, I got delayed like 3 weeks before I could go with my trainer because my wife got sick and went to a doctor, and they told her she had COVID, and then I got sick, and I didn't want to get my trainer sick, so I just told them I was sick, and they said, well, we want you to do a COVID test. So I did a COVID test at home, and it said positive. I don't know how true that was. It said positive. And so they said, well, we've got to keep you out for like 3 weeks. So they did. So I got delayed. I would have been on to my second month by now, but I'm fine with how it went. Had to restart browser. Okay, Chucky. I see what you're saying now. I didn't know if it was my phone or what. Out of the 10 of us that started, only 4 people made it through the process. Yeah, that sounds about like my group. 8 of us and 3 made it. My phase 1 went great out of the 10 people, and 1 got home. Sent day 3 for a failed drug test. 1 randomly left week 2 in the middle of the night, and I quit Tuesday of week 3. Oh, you got sent home for a failed drug test? That's no good, Marcus. So what happened, Marcus? You're not driving then right now? You aren't able to go back there, or how'd that work? Or are you saying somebody failed? Maybe you're not saying you failed. Oh, one of the guys did. Sorry. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't at least. I'm not saying good for that guy, but I'm glad you didn't at least. You got your CDL. Awesome. Someone else did. Got you. Okay. Yeah, when I was reading that, I was thinking for a minute, hold on a minute. Yeah, I got that 1 and I confused. Yeah, Jacob, if you're still on here, you should definitely do your YouTube channel. I want to meet you too, Jacob. I hope we get to meet. We're both in Kentucky. There's no reason we shouldn't, right? Anthony commented to me. He's a guy in Texas, and he said he commented on the video this morning early. I seen it, and he said, "Was that you that I just seen pull into some gas station in Texas?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm in Wisconsin." I told him my truck number, and he said, "I was wanting to say hello or something like that, but didn't want to be weird. If you see me, say hello, and I'll say hello to you as well. There ain't nothing weird about it to me. I'll be glad to say hello to anybody, but I know what Anthony means by that. He's a good guy. I like Anthony. He does firewood and stuff. Yeah, Jacob, I think you'll be happy with trucking after we talk. Like, my last check was actually not this one, but the last one that I was talking about was like around 900, but there was a deduction, and I called them, and they give you locks too at the beginning, and they take out $15 a week for those locks until you pay them off. That was another thing she explained to me. When you got back from phase 1, did you have to pay for your CDO at the DMV? A couple of my classmates had to pay for that. No, I never had to. They mailed mine to me, but it took a little bit for it to come in, but they mailed it. I never had to pay for it. Not that I know of. No, I can tell you in my group, my particular group, and I mean to offend anybody if I do, because I know one guy, and I like him a lot. He was subscribed to my channel, and he may still be. And if he hears me, I don't mean offense towards him at all. And I'm not just necessarily talking about him either. But like he wasn't bad on attendance. He'd struggle with the pre-trip. But now there were like 2 or 3 others that were horrible with their attendance, because you know it's like a 3-week program. And they missed like 4 days before 2 weeks were finished. So, I mean, you're going to get behind like that. And so, no, I think I told somebody this the other day, I think if you go with the right mindset and you use your time wisely, it's not that bad. Like, what gets most people, it seems like, is the pre-trip, which is 7 pages that go over the tractor and trailer and the end cab, which is in here. Like, you've got to sit here and say, I'm going to check my seatbelt, make sure that it's properly mounted, secured, not ripped, not cut, not frayed, that it latches securely. Then you got to ensure that it's in new. There's all kinds of stuff. Make sure my wipers are mounted secure. The blades are mounted securely to the wipers. The washer is working. My mirrors are clean, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, not broken, not damaged, adjusted to me. A lot of the words you say are the same, but you say them over and over and over. Got to get them. Oh, yeah, them J.J. Kellers, too. One guy got held back for a week. They called it J.J. Keller Jail. Those are apps on your phone, on the Rail app, that you got to do. And they're, some people may not know this. I skipped about every one of them. You can skip the video because they're like hours long if you don't. So I just skipped them. And I didn't know you could at first. I was sitting there waiting for it to go off and then answering the test questions. And some guy told me, he said, you didn't know you could skip those videos? And after that, I skipped them all. And I still skip them. They still send me J.J. Kellers. I'm out here. They're still sending them to me now. And I skip them. Yeah, J.J. Keller jail. One guy got put in J.J. Keller jail. He got held back a week with my group, actually. He was a week ahead of me, but he got held back with my group, and he actually passed. I liked him a lot. Me and him were staying late, and doing our pre-trip. Like, because I had nobody else. The guys I was riding with, they didn't want to stay late. And he asked me if I wanted to, because we both wanted to study. That's what it comes down to. How bad do you want it? If you see you're struggling, are you willing to stay late and keep working on it? Or are you just going to go to the hotel, relax, and go to sleep? That's what it comes down to. And I was looking at this for me, my wife, and children as a life-changing job. And it is. It already has been, believe it or not. It already has been. What's going on, man? Big fan of the channel. Have you ever thought about... What do you mean by that, a firewood course? I've seen you on there quite a few times. It's good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to do it, you know. Firewood. I love hand splitting firewood, and I plan to keep doing that as well as trucking. I'm hoping to split in these other states, the kind of woods they got. Back and forth to their doctor. My first trainer was dirty, never showered. Second trainer always wanted to be home. Yeah, that's the thing. If you get stuck with a bad trainer, you can request a different one, and I would. I'm not the kind of person that'll put up with stuff like that for too long. I mean, bad attitudes either. Sounds like you're doing good, Marcus. You're getting a lot of good experience. That's awesome. So you're about to your own truck. Then that moment when you get your own truck is so rewarding. For me, it was awesome. Like they gave me the keys and they had me check it over and everything. The guy was like, welcome to the team, brother, or something like that. And that was it. And I was in the truck and I was like, oh, wow. And as soon as I got in it, they sent me an order shortly after and had me going out working. Once you get your truck, you're going to work. And so you're making better money. No more of those $500-$600 weeks, you know. Hopefully not anyways. New truck smell. It was very clean, this truck, when I got it. Very clean. They clean them up really good before they give them to you. And this is a 2022, so it's not too old, you know. My trainer said when he became a trainer, see, as soon as 6 months is over, you can become a trainer or owner-operator or both. He did both. So he's clearing $2,500 a week right now, and he's been here 3 years. But he's clearing $2,500 a week after his truck payments and everything. Do some video on how to split firewood, how to find firewood to cut and sell, like a course, folks. I have a lot of videos on how to split, and I have videos on finding it. But yeah, I would be glad to do that. That's actually a good idea. I'll plan to do that in the future, because I'm planning to get me a dump truck, or at least a 3/4 ton or 1 ton with maybe a dump insert in it. Do you park your truck at your house? I do park my truck at my house. I'm very happy to do that too. And at first, I didn't think I was going to be able to, because if you can't park, I don't park the trailer at my house though. I would not want to get it in there where I'm at. I would get it stuck. We live on about 2.5 acres, but they told me that if you can't park the trailer at your home, then it has to be within 3 miles of your home where you park it at, and you've got to put a kingpin lock on your trailer, and it's got to be a good place to park, you know. And this Mennonite man, I called like 3 gas stations the day I got my truck, because my fleet manager said, look, before I can even let you take this truck, I've got to have like 2 locations where you're going to park at, like a backup location and your main location. And so I used my backup location as a pilot truck stop, which was about 15 minutes from my home. I wouldn't have been able to drive the truck home from there. I would have had to leave the truck with it. And I really wanted to drive the truck home to show my kids and everything, and just drive it home, you know, and have it in my driveway. And I called this Mennonite guy. He owns a grocery store there called Kingfisher's. And I just asked him, you know, I asked these gas stations. They said no, they didn't have room and stuff. I even told him I'd be willing to pay. And he said, yeah, we could probably work something out. And after I met him and everything, shook his hand, he showed me where to park. And I show that in my videos where it's at, which is about 3 miles from my home. So I'm able to drive the truck home from there. I said, how much are you going to charge? And I said, how much, you know, I was willing to do it. And he said, I'm not going to charge you anything. He said, you and your wife just come by and shop sometimes. And so that was very kind of him. And I actually really liked that store. So I plan to do that. It worked out really good for me, that deal. I'm going to be parking my truck at the... Yeah, that's something very important, is knowing where you're going to park at. That's very important. It worked. I was just so blessed with the way it worked out. It's getting dark here now. Man, these lives go fast. 55 minutes. Looks like all the rail guys but one are docked now. That guy's docking over there right now. Would consider staying company or grow as a lease. I'll be honest with you. I worked for myself for 5 years as an owner operator, as a business owner, and once you do that, it's hard to go back to working for somebody. It really is. For me, anyways, it's very hard to go back to working for somebody. I don't like that life. So I've still got that entrepreneur mentality, and I think I always will have. So in a way, I really want to be an owner operator. I really want to be an owner operator. So I'm really thinking hard about that. The only thing I'm wondering is if I'm going to be able to make my payments and still make good profit and maybe still be home on the weekends. Because my trainer's doing it, but he's national. He's gone 2 weeks at a time. And even after his truck payments and insurance and all that, he clears $2,500 a week. So I think I may try the owner-operator program, actually, and just see, because the good thing about it with rail is if you decide you don't want to continue doing it, you just turn your truck back in. And you don't have to continue paying those payments. You can just turn your truck back in. And you're going to make more money regardless. So it's kind of a win-win, really, in my opinion. Dirty Hotel. Swift had a lot of bed bug trucks. Wow. Have you worked for all those places, Terry? All those sound bad, honestly. Someone quit and left the truck at a drop yard. They want me to go pick it up and take it to Gary while I wait on my truck. Really? Pick it up and take it to Gary while I wait on my truck. Why are they getting you to do that, I wonder? I'm an owner-operator, small landscaping business. I might get into trucking in the off-season. I have about 3 months. I remember you saying that you did landscaping. I remember that. I did it for a while, and I remember you saying you were looking forward to landscaping. I'm sorry I didn't put more of that on there. You kind of, when you started watching me and commenting, was right around the time I was getting out of it, to be honest with you. And I did it for right around 5 years, that and firewood. I love landscaping and lawn care and firewood, but I like commercial better than residential. I used to work for a big business, and when I did, we did like derby horse farms and stuff like that. And I just like it so much more in residential. Stayed at Hotel Marshfield during training. Rail owns a portion of the hotel, so it was really nice. Rails usually get you real nice hotels. Like when I did my training, they had really nice hotels. She's coming with my paperwork right now, it looks like. So I may be about to get out of here. I think she's bringing my paperwork, but Rail put me in some nice hotels. Hello. Am I good to go? Oh, they must have a lock back there or something. Well, I guess I'm good to go. See it, they all take, thank you. They all take different amounts of time. Like I've been here for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, hour and a half at least. The last place I was there for like 30, 45 minutes. They're all different. I think the average live load, they say, is 2 hours. I better get off this dock at least. Let me move off of here real quick, and I'll get over there in case somebody else needs this dock. Somebody might be waiting on it. That's something I don't want to do. I believe in treating other people how you want to be treated, and I don't want to be responsible for holding people up. And that's why it bothered me bad the other day when I locked my keys in my truck, because I kind of was in the way. Not real bad. They were able to. Why is that doing that? Did she detach my airline? Yeah, something's going on with my airline. That never does that. Let me go check what she did. I seen her moving. She may have knocked my airline off. She sure did. She knocked that airline right off there, didn't even tell me. The air just draining right out of it. No wonder I kept pushing that brake valve in and it kept popping right back out. I've never had to do that. At least I know what it was. These people probably think I'm crazy. They're probably like, oh, who's she talking to? This guy's crazy talking to himself over here. I love this. I love it. I love trucking. I really do. Whoa, they've got a chalk back there too, man. Oh, hold on, I'll be back again. They got my tires shot. traction. I'm gonna have to back up to get that chalk out. I tried to kick it out, it wouldn't come out. Yeah, my tires are jumping. They've got it chalked. All right, should be good. Bunny hopping in the truck, 18-wheeler bunny hopping. I've never had nobody knock my airline off. She may have not noticed she did it. Y'all take care. I'm gonna pull over here real quick. Get out of their way. Yeah, I love trucking. You've got to cut out a lot farther when your tandems are back like that. These trucks don't cut nearly as sharp. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my tandems and close my doors. And then I'm ready to go on to the next one. But in the meantime, driving detected. That means it kicked me on duty. Got my brake set. I'm gonna click off duty. I'm just gonna put it in brake for now. I've got 3 hours and 14 minutes left of drive time, so I'm driving it. I'm driving it. What time is it right now? Have been on here an hour. Gonna hop off and spend some time with the kiddo. Yeah, make sure you do that. That's important. I miss mine right now. See you. Safe travels. Good talking to all y'all again. We'll try to do these lives more often. It's good talking to every one of you. And I wish y'all the best with your trucking journeys. I really do. Let me know what you like the most, as far as what to see. Because I plan to do some lives going in these places too. And I know I'm making myself vulnerable in a way because I'm showing you my mess ups and stuff. Because believe me, the other day I got pretty frustrated at one. I had a hard time getting in there. I think it was a Home Depot or something like that. I can't remember where I was, but you have a good one too, Maximum. It's good talking to everybody. Y'all be safe. I wish you the best with your trucking journeys. I do think it's a good thing to get into. I'm happy with it. Right now, I'm going to chase these miles. I've got 3 hours of drive time, 3 hours and 13 minutes. So I'm going to try to get as many as I can. And if you consider it, start your YouTube channel and share it with the rest of us. It's a good way to communicate with one another. You can meet a lot of good people on YouTube. There's bad ones on there too, just like in the world, but all you got to do is avoid them. Try 1 week out, run to Cali. I've heard California's horrible driving. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, do that. Keep us posted. I don't know what days would be best to do these lives. I'll probably just do them randomly, honestly, when I got free time. This one was later in the evening, and I think that's a little bit better because we're all at home during that time. And it'll be really neat when some of y'all are in trucks and we can do these lives. You can do lives together. So some of us should do lives together. Jacob, Marcus, y'all want to do lives together in the future, we will. And when you're live on your channel, I'll join as well. So it's pretty neat. But I appreciate all y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. That way I can try to get these hours. Thank you so much for the positive comments and everything. It's nice seeing y'all communicate with one another as well. Yep, sounds good, Maximum. I think that'd be awesome. We could all keep up with one another. That's what they say when you're truckers. You're almost into a family in a way, and you kind of feel that way, really. It's the places on the way. It's good hearing from you, Terry, everybody. I wish y'all the best. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and everything. I didn't know if anybody would join. It was pretty neat. We had over 20 again, so that's awesome. But y'all be safe trucking out there. Be safe. I wish you the best with it. I think it's a good thing to get into, and I'll keep updating as I go. Y'all be safe. God bless.